Think strategy is confusing, overwhelming, and only for big companies? Well, think again. Today we're going to break down the TOWS matrix. It's one of the most underrated tools for developing marketing strategies that actually work. So if you're a small business owner, an entrepreneur, or a marketer, and you want to create effective marketing plans, this video is for you. I'm going to debunk strategy and show you how you can use the TOWS matrix to turn your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats into a step-by-step game plan. So let's make strategy simple. And welcome to Marketing Sprints with Michelle. My name is Michelle, and I help small, medium business and marketers master marketing one sprint at a time. Recall, in one of the earlier videos in the series, we learned that marketing is a process. As a process, you can begin it, it might have a middle, you can pause it, but it never ends, for it's a process. And in this video and the next couple of videos in the series, we're turning our attention to strategy, which is a vital stage of the marketing process. Now, remember, the first stage of the process is research. And let me remind you, you cannot effectively form a strategy without first doing your research. And in particular, your SWOT analysis. We're going to take the inputs from your SWOT analysis and transform them into marketing strategies using the TOWS framework. And if you're interested in learning more about research and how to conduct a SWOT analysis, we addressed research and SWOT analysis in previous videos, so I invite you to find them in the videos tab. So what is strategy? Well, we can look at a formal definition by Merriam-Webster. They define strategy as a careful plan or method for achieving a particular goal, usually over a long period of time. I like to think of strategy as how to play to win. And in the context of a marketing strategy, what is the win? Well, that is achieving a set of defined marketing goals, typically around building or growing awareness, lead generation, customer acquisition, customer retention, or customer lifetime value types of goals. Ultimately, a business must deliver value to its customers and formulate a strategy that captures profit from that value. Now, one other simple way we can think about strategy is to ask and answer a series of questions. Depending on how you answer those questions will be what forms your strategy. Here's a great reference. Seth Godin, in one of his blog posts, posed 4 important questions, or 4 questions worth answering. Let's take a look at these questions. Now, you can see the first 2 questions are all about who are your customers and what is their story. So these questions really delve into who your customer is and knowing your customer so well so that your strategies can in fact be customer-centric and that they can address the specific needs, preferences, and behaviors and the values that your customers are seeking. The third question asks about yourself. Where and how can you engage with these customers? Where can they find you? Where can they interact with you? Through what means and methods? And in a way that you can have a story that they trust. So yes, you have a story as well, a story that's crafted out of your brand messages and stories that tell how you help your customers through the values that you deliver to your customers. And ultimately, if your strategy succeeds, you are going to make a positive change to the story of your customers. And that change can come through delivering solutions to their problems, addressing or overcoming their challenges, addressing their pain points, helping them fulfill or progress towards achieving their goals, fulfilling their needs and desires. Now, in this and the next few videos in the series, we're going to break down the key elements of marketing strategy. And in this video, we're starting with the TOWS strategy. We'll then progress into looking at market segmentation and defining target markets. We'll also look at reformulating a new marketing mix, a new set of products, price, place, and promotion, so that your offerings can be distinctly different and more beneficial to those target markets. We'll then show you how to transform those unique selling propositions into value propositions, and those are going to form the basis of your brand stories and messaging. Now recall, you've completed your marketing research, right? You have your SWOT analysis. We looked at an example of Zara in a previous video, and you can see the summary of that again here. We've basically identified Zara's top strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We're now going to use this as input to formulate strategies. Again, you need this in order to effectively formulate a strategy. So make sure you first conduct research before you progress to the strategy stage of the marketing process. In fact, we're going to take these SWOT outcomes so that we can formulate strategies that will leverage your strengths, minimize your weaknesses, exploit opportunities, and mitigate threats. So what is the TOWS matrix? The TOWS matrix is a simple framework you can use that basically turns SWOT on its head. It uses the same elements of SWOT, but flips them. It actually uses them in a way that it creates a grid or table with 4 quadrants. And the 4 intersections or 4 quadrants are the intersection or synthesis of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat. So in this way, you actually are using the output from your SWOT analysis to now formulate and generate effective marketing strategies. So let's see how this works. You can consider TOWS as the bridge between research and strategy. Let's take a closer look at these 4 strategic quadrants. You can see in the table here the intersection of your strengths and opportunities. These can create attacking strategies where we're going to leverage your strengths to maximize or exploit the opportunities. These are also called maxi-maxi strategies as they have the highest potential. At the far upper right, we have the intersection of weaknesses and opportunities, WO strategies. These help you build strengths for attacking strategies. In the lower left quadrant, we have ST strategies. These are defensive strategies. Basically, you're leveraging your strengths to mitigate or minimize threats. And finally, we have WT strategies, where you're going to synthesize your weaknesses and threats. These are also called mini strategies because they have the least potential to perform. So let's think about it. Your SWOT analysis presents you with your top strengths, your top weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What you want to do is number them. Start with your first strength, S1, S2, S3, etc. Your weaknesses, W1, W2, W3. That will help you analyze them. Then put them in this quadrant or grid pattern so you can start to measure and synthesize them against each other to formulate and ideate some potential strategies. Now, it's a good idea to come up with 1 or 2 different strategies for each of the 4 quadrants. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at a particular example back at Zara, and we're going to try to generate or conceive some potential strategies in each of the 4 strategic quadrants. Take a look with me. Let's look at some potential attacking strategies for Zara. This is at the intersection of their strengths and opportunities. For example, Zara could use its proven fashion production and integrated supply chain combined with its financial resources, those being some of its strengths, in order to embrace sustainability, an opportunity, by using organic cotton or hemp and by reducing environmental damage throughout its supply chain. Now, what about a potential defensive strategy for Zara, or the intersection of its strengths and threats? Well, maybe Zara could use its customer-centric approach and fast fashion production, 2 strengths, to offer capsule wardrobes to meet changing consumer preferences for stylish, ready fashion on a budget, basically mitigating 2 of those threats. Moving on, what about a WO strategy for Zara? Perhaps they could invest in augmented reality on their website or their mobile app to allow consumers to virtually try on fashion while reducing waste and strengthening their online presence. As you can see, this strategy is at the intersection of a couple of weaknesses and a couple of opportunities. And what about a WT strategy or defensive strategy for Zara? Perhaps they could extend their brand line by offering secondary brands that cater to vintage fashion or gender-neutral fashion trends. As you can see, this synthesizes one of their weaknesses with one of the threats. Hopefully you can see in these examples that TOWS is a very powerful tool to help you generate marketing strategies that you wouldn't consider otherwise. But TOWS doesn't choose a strategy for you, so you'll want to rank the strategies based on their impact and priority. Also keep in mind you need a SWOT analysis completed in order to conduct the TOWS matrix. And even more so, it's really dependent on the group of people you have working with you in order to synthesize and measure your SWOT analysis in order to effectively brainstorm strategies. Now you've seen how the TOWS matrix can help you generate actionable marketing strategies quite simply, and hopefully this video's created clarity where previously strategy might have created confusion for you. So in this video, you've learned what the TOWS matrix is, how you can apply it to generate marketing strategies, and in particular how small businesses can simplify strategy using a practical framework. I really hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share it. Subscribe to the channel. I'm really interested in how you might think about how you might use this TOWS matrix in your own business. And please click the notification bell. Especially, we have a number of other videos coming up delving deeper into strategy. Take care. Peace to you.